How does a school or university really know if it's on the right track? For years, so much of it has been based on intuition, on gut feel. But what if you could actually switch from guesswork to genius? Today, we're going to break down a blueprint for turning an educational institution into a truly intelligent, data-driven powerhouse. Let's see how it's done.
So here's our roadmap. We'll kick things off with the core problem, then introduce the solution, this thing called the Intelligence Hub. After that, we'll walk through a three-phase journey from just getting basic visibility all the way to harnessing the power of AI. And we'll wrap up by looking at the ultimate vision for what the future of learning could be.
Okay, so imagine for a second you're running a school. You've got student data over here, admissions data over there, finances in another system, and class info somewhere else entirely. It's all scattered. Trying to make one simple, informed decision can feel like you're trying to navigate a maze in the dark. That fragmentation, that's the core challenge so many schools are up against. And this really shows you the two completely different worlds we're talking about. On one side, you have the old way of doing things. You're making decisions based on assumptions. You're always reacting to problems after they happen. And you're missing huge opportunities because all your data is just a mess. But on the other side, that's the goal, a world where every decision is backed by evidence, where you're proactive, and where everything flows from one single source of truth. And that, of course, is what leads to real optimized growth. So how do we get from one world to the other? Well, the answer is by building something called an Education Intelligence Hub. The best way to think about it is like the central nervous system for the whole institution. It connects every single piece of data into one coherent intelligence system. It's almost like giving the school a brain.
And this brain is designed to focus on four absolutely crucial things. First up is growth, figuring out which marketing efforts are actually working so you can get more students for less money. Second, quality. And this is a big one, moving beyond simple surveys to actually measure how effective the teaching is. Third, retention, spotting students who might be struggling before they decide to leave. And finally, efficiency, making sure every class is as full and as financially healthy as possible.
Okay, achieving all that is a massive goal. So how do you actually pull it off? Well, you don't, not overnight anyway. A transformation this big has to be a carefully planned journey, and it's broken down into three really distinct phases. Let's dive into each one. Phase 1 is all about just turning on the lights. It's that critical first step where you go from complete data chaos to having a clear, unified view of what is actually happening across the entire organization right now.
And the key here is to move fast. The whole philosophy is build fast. In just 1 month, you're integrating the core systems. That's things like your CRM for potential students and your SIS, the Student Information System. And get this, by month 3, the leadership team already has its first set of real-time dashboards. This is not some multi-year slog. It's about delivering real, tangible value almost immediately.
So the main goal of this whole phase is to stop guessing. Step 1, you bring all the data together. Step 2, you build some simple dashboards so you can see the vital signs, like enrollment numbers and revenue. And step 3, you start tracking your marketing and operations performance every single day. It's all about getting the basics right and doing it quickly. And the results? They're pretty much immediate. Just by finally seeing which marketing channels are working and which classes are falling flat, an institution can expect to see a 10 to 20% jump in student conversion rates. And that's in the first quarter alone. That is an incredible return on investment right out of the gate. All right, so now that we can see what's happening, phase 2 is all about understanding why it's happening. We're leveling up from simple reporting to deep diagnostic analysis that starts to uncover the stories hidden inside all that data. So over the next 6 months, the system gets a whole lot smarter. You build a proper data warehouse, which lets you do much more complex analysis. New dashboards get launched for things like cohort analysis, tracking groups of students over time, and this is the big one, measuring teaching effectiveness. And by month 9, this system can even send out automated alerts when it spots a potential problem. Let's talk about one of the most innovative ideas to come out of this phase, the Teaching Effectiveness Index, or TEI. Now, this is a real game changer. For decades, teacher quality was basically measured by those subjective, "how happy are you" surveys from students. The TEI changes all that by creating a standardized, data-driven score that measures actual impact. So how does it work? Well, it's a weighted formula. A huge chunk, 40%, is based on how much a student's test scores actually improve. Student feedback still matters, that's 30%. Then you have class attendance at 20%. And the course completion rate makes up the last 10%.
It's this really holistic view that finally gives a real answer to the question, is this teacher actually helping students learn more effectively?
With a clean, reliable data foundation now firmly in place, we can finally enter the most exciting phase. This is where we stop just analyzing the past and we start predicting the future using artificial intelligence. This quote just nails the ambition here. The goal isn't just to predict what's going to happen, it's to build a system that prescribes the best action to take. It's about turning all that data into automated, intelligent decisions that lead to better outcomes for everyone. One of the most powerful ways to use this is with dropout prediction. Just imagine an AI model that's constantly scanning all the student data, everything from grades to how often they log into the school's website. It acts like an early warning system, flagging students who are at a high risk of leaving, which means you can intervene before it's too late. I mean, you could literally change the course of that student's life. So let's look at how this works in practice. The AI is taking in all these signals, declining grades, low attendance, not interacting with the online system. A pretty sophisticated algorithm then analyzes all the hidden patterns and flags a specific student as high risk. And that automatically triggers an action, like sending a notification to a counselor to reach out, or maybe offering that student some personalized tutoring. And really, that's just the start. This same data foundation can power so much more. You could have AI for lead scoring, which tells your admissions team exactly which prospective student to call next. Or demand forecasting, which predicts which classes are going to be popular, taking all the guesswork out of scheduling. And maybe the most powerful of all, it opens the door to truly personalized learning, recommending the perfect next course for every single student. Okay, so we've gone from chaos to clarity, from reporting to optimizing, and from just reacting to predicting. Now, let's pull back and look at the ultimate strategic vision that this entire journey makes possible. The story here is just so powerful. Phase 1 lets you see the business for the very first time. Phase 2 lets you improve the business with smart analysis. Phase 3 lets you automate the business with AI. But the future? That's about taking this intelligent core and building an entire digital ecosystem around it. Because the end game here isn't just about a better internal tool. The ultimate vision is to create an education super platform. I mean, imagine mobile apps for students and parents that give them real-time progress updates, or an AI-powered tutor that adapts to each student's unique learning style, even a whole marketplace for new courses, all of it running on this single intelligent data engine. And that really brings us to our final thought. This journey isn't just about helping one institution become more efficient. It represents a fundamental shift in how we approach education itself. So I'll leave you with this question. What do you think happens to learning, to teaching, and to student success when every single decision is powered not by guesswork, but by intelligent data?